You now.
Okay, great. So first, I wanted to just thank everybody for joining us this morning. We really appreciate your participation and attending to learn a little bit more about TVCC's CTE programs, Career and Technical Education. Again, I'm the Dean of Career and Technical Education here at TVCC, and we are extremely happy that we have a brand new CTE center. This was about a $7 million building, and it is opening in spring. So March 29th, we will be holding our classes there. We've actually been running our welding and fabrication classes there this term. So we've had a few students in there already, but the entire building will be opening on March 29th. So we're super excited for that new facility and all of the equipment that's in it. One of the things that I'd like for everyone to keep in mind as we go through and highlight our CTE programs today is that TVCC really tries to keep the cost down for students. We recognize that higher education is a choice for folks coming out of high school, and one of the biggest factors in the decision-making process of whether or not you want to continue on in a CTE program or a transfer degree program is that cost of higher education, and it's the highest that it's ever been. And so we want to just make sure that you understand that TVCC has many strategies in place that we work on continuously to keep the cost of attending college low for you. Some of those things, we have work studies. We have students who are, they work here at the college in different capacities for us. We pursue grants where we try to get tuition and fees covered for students for some of the cooperative work experience opportunities that are required in many of the CTE programs, as well as paying students hourly rates for those internship type opportunities. We also do focus on expanding our open educational resources. So what that means is we try to have as many courses as possible that have no cost textbooks. And then, we do financial literacy, so students are aware of how their student loans can impact them in the future. So we really try to make sure that you understand exactly what those finances are, and we want to keep those costs super low for you so that, whether you're going for a transfer degree or whether you're coming here for a CTE program, that, your higher education costs are as low as possible. The other thing I wanted to just mention really quick as you think about these programs is that TVCC's really has an institutional focus on diversity, equity, and inclusion. And so all of our faculty, all of our staff, we want all walks of life here. We want people from all backgrounds, and we really value the different perspectives that different folks bring. So we want to make sure that you understand that this is a place that welcomes all, and we try to accommodate every single person who walks through our doors. So that has been a focus for us for the last couple of years. So again, welcome. Thank you for your participation. We would love for you to stay and learn about all of the CTE programs, and I think you're going to find, as you hear from our faculty and from some of our students and some of our industry partners, that TVCC is a great place to go. And, I'm excited that you're here with us today. So thank you.
Great. Thanks, David. And David will be joining us throughout the day as well, so we may hear a little bit from him as we continue through. So I can see that Chase and Julie are on location. Looks like you guys are in a kitchen of some sorts down there. Chase, Julie, who did you find and what can we talk about here?
Hi, Travis. We found our ag instructor, Sandy Porter. So hello, Sandy, and thanks for joining us. We're going to ask her a couple questions about the ag program. So what ag programs do you have at TVCC?
So at TVCC, we really have two tracks for ag programs. Our first track is our Associate of Applied Science degrees, and we have a horse production, ranch management, also an agribusiness. And so those are 2-year degrees that are designed to get our students a lot of hands-on experience and go right directly into industry. The second track we have is an Associate of Science track, and that's our transfer track. So we work with Eastern Oregon, the University of Idaho, and Oregon State, a little bit with Montana State also. And that's to get students 2 years here, and they can complete a bachelor's degree and ideally 2 years at their transfer institution. Those programs really are in animal science, ag business, crop and soil sciences. We also have a general ag degree. Our students that are wanting to be going to ag education typically follow that general ag degree. And I think that's about it for our transfer degrees.
Okay, thanks, Sandy. And then what about the TVCC ag program makes it so unique?
I think our program is really unique. We offer our students a lot of hands-on experience. We take our students out in 15 passenger vans and go out into the field and work with our industry partners all the time. I always joke I spend way more time driving a 15 passenger van than I ever thought I would as an adult, but that lets us take our students out and get some real world experience. We are really hands-on and applied. Our students spend lots of time getting dirty, and especially in the animal sciences. We're out in the field doing things, and they have small class sizes, so they get lots of opportunity to be hands-on and just learning by doing.
So what's one of your favorite classes to teach?
My favorite class, I like all of our hands-on. So I'm teaching primarily animal science classes. So we have a week-long short course for beef pregnancy detection, and that's one of my favorite ones. The students, we spend Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 together out preg checking cows, so that's always a good time. We also have a short course for artificial insemination. This kitchen right now that we're in will be used for a meat science lab. So we just have a variety of opportunities for students to try new and exciting things all the time.
And how about you tell us your most exciting thing about the new CTE building?
Ooh, our most exciting thing about the CTE building. We are just excited to have a space where our students can congregate, and we're excited to show it off. Our old building was pretty sad, and so we kind of avoided bringing students into it. So we were excited to have a new space, and we have our own labs for the first time. We have our some industry shared space, ag, natural resources, welding, and IMAC are going to be all together. So we're just really excited to be able to share it with our new students.
Awesome. Thank you, Sandy, for joining us, and we're going to send it back to Travis.
All right, welcome back. And I can see that Chase and Julie actually were able to run down one of the stars of this recent video that we showed you guys. So Chase, Julie, who did you guys find, and what are we talking about now?
Hi, we found Wade, one of our horse production instructors, and so we're going to ask him a couple questions. Thanks for being here, Wade.
All right, glad to be here. Hello, everybody.
So how about you tell us a little bit about your background and what makes this program so unique?
As far as background, I was raised kind of early childhood in Nevada on a ranch there. My dad managed a big ranch, and then we moved to Idaho and trained and sold horses, and then went on to MSU and got my master's in the behavior and training of horses. And then I've incorporated all of that into the program, all of it, the training the horses, the research, and then really how a person can increase financial sustainability on the ranch through either riding outside horses or producing and selling your own. And so, you know, in our program, what makes it unique, I think it'll be a pretty common theme through all the CTE instructors that you speak to. It's hands-on. Every class that we teach is hands-on. And so there's 13 classes that I teach, and 11 of them are horse training classes. So we have an equine business, an equine science, and a horse production and training degree. Good portions of the students that come here, they want to be horse trainers, and so it's just kind of like welding. If you want to, you have to do it, and it's hands-on. But I'm also very excited about we have an equine science transfer degree, and we have an equine business degree. We got some great adjuncts. We got TJ Brown that teaches the horseshoeing class. We got Jack Walker, that's a retired vet. He teaches a lot of the health and disease, repro, those type of classes. And I'm really excited. Cami Olson, one of my past students, she's teaching some classes. She teaches an evening riding series that students can get a CHA certification as a riding instructor. And she's also the stock horse coach. I'm extremely excited about having a stock horse team. We compete, have practices here and compete in some local shows. Stuff kind of got shut down with COVID, like a lot of the sports, but that's my goal, to continue to grow that, just like the rodeo program. And kids can transfer on to four-year schools and get stock horse team scholarships.
Oh, awesome. Sounds like you have a good team over there.
Yeah, no, it's a great group group of kids.
Okay, so how can a degree from TVCC set a student apart from their competition when applying for a job?
You know, a lot of what I hit on as far as the hands-on, that's one of the things that's tough in an academia setting is the hands-on skills to be able to go do the job. And where our program is so hands-on, the kids learn the skills. A lot of my kids go on to work for horse trainers, but honestly, right now I got about 8 students that are working at feedlots. There's a huge demand for kids that not only have the horsemanship skills, but have the horsemanship, stockmanship, and even roping skills to go out in the industry. And so I think what really separates, you know, our program is we practice that a lot. We practice those skills and to give the kids the experience to do that. I'm constantly working with people in the industry. You know, a huge part of a VOTEC is what are those skills. So I'm constantly working with our industry partners to say, how can we fine tune these skills? And then we actually have shows. The midterm and the final for all my students is we have these practice shows with our industry partners come in and they'll score the kids as far as how they're improving on their skills to ultimately get jobs in the industry.
Oh, okay, great. So what is one of your favorite classes to teach here at TVCC?
I think that's a tough question. I like them all. It's kind of like when I used to do football and wrestling. At just about the time one was over, I was excited about the next one to start. And I think I love the entire process. And so it's hard for me to single out one. I have all my horse training classes, but honestly, I think probably one of my favorite one is the business one that's not up in the barn, hands-on. It's in the classroom. And I'm really passionate about that one because I grew up training horses my entire life. And I feel like that's an area, if kids aren't careful, they really enjoy the practical part of riding the horses, but they don't do the job on the business part and the planning, the financial planning, and that's where they can have a lot of problems. So I really enjoy teaching the business and marketing class.
Awesome. So maybe leave the students with something, maybe if they're on the fence about the horse production program, what's something you think they should know?
I would say a lot of the opportunities here, the stock horse team, obviously the degrees and certificates that transfer. We also have a club, it's CCF. It's just kind of I try to keep a rodeo Bible camp atmosphere here, kind of a positive environment and bring in pizza and speakers and that. But I would say you could come, you can have fun, you can get a great education, you could be around some like-minded people, and ultimately, obviously, if you're seeking a career in the equine ranching or rodeo industry, this is definitely the place to come to get the hands-on skills and education to go be successful in the industry.
Okay, thank you so much for joining us. Here, Marcus, thanks for joining us.
You bet.
Yeah, so first question here, tell us about the program and what degrees and certificates students can earn.
Well, first of all, thank you for joining us here today. It's always good to talk to high schools. So our program is pretty diverse. We have a lot of offerings in wildland fire, forestry, rangeland management. Students that come here oftentimes end up getting into watershed type work, fisheries type work. So it's pretty diverse, a lot of opportunities to transfer on. We want to go to a 4-year school. Also a lot of opportunities to get started right into the workforce.
Sweet. So what are some of the career opportunities after completing the program?
So most of my students end up going to work for an agency. So typically they'll pursue careers with federal or state agencies. So I have a lot of students work for the Forest Service after completing the program. I have a lot of students work for the BLM, particularly out of Vail. I also have a lot of students work with state agencies, particularly the Fish and Wildlife agencies, so Idaho Fish and Game and the Oregon Department of Fish and Wildlife.
So what does a typical day maybe look like for one of your students?
I would say pretty typical in a normal year, which isn't this year, would be, learning about, wildlife, forestry, range management, fisheries in the morning during your lecture hours. And then usually in the afternoon, we load up in vans and we head to the field. So my afternoons are pretty typical in the field with students, learning about what we learned about in the classroom.
Awesome. Putting it to use out there.
Yeah, doing some hands-on stuff usually.
Yeah. Okay, so what's the most interesting course that you teach?
I think I have kind of my favorite, most interesting courses each term. So I think fall term we're up in the forest a lot, so I really like teaching my fire ecology course and my forestry course. You spend a lot of time in the forest, a lot of time in the woods. Winter term, I'm kind of a wildlife guy. I like to hunt. I spend most of my free time thinking about wildlife, so I really enjoy teaching my wildlife management class in the winter. And then I would say spring term, my watershed management class is probably my most fun, because we spend a lot of time out on the water in a boat, catching fish, surveying fish, talking about water quality. So it's tough to have a bad day when you're on the river or lake.
Yeah, sounds like it. Okay, so if there's students maybe interested in the program, what are some advice or some tips you want to give them before entering here at TVCC?
Definitely get with an advisor early, I would say. Apply for the college, try and identify which major you want to go into. And if you're interested in the natural resource program, get a hold of me. The earlier on, the better, because that way we can set you up to have a really efficient time here at TVCC, get you in the classes that you need to take, and hopefully get you in and get you done as soon as we can.
So tell us your favorite thing about TVCC and some of the instructors you maybe work with.
Oh, I think my favorite thing about TVCC is probably my department. I like the hands-on aspect of TVCC, the CTE program. I like the fact that we all kind of live the lifestyle that we are teaching. I think that makes it really real world and applicable.
Yeah, you all seem, everyone we talked to is very passionate about their work, and a lot of hands-on that happens here at TVCC. So anything else you want to leave the students with here about the ag program or about TVCC in general?
I would just say the last thing I leave you with is, really give us a good look when you're trying to decide what to do after high school. We are a really good option here locally. We've got great programs, professors, instructors that really care about their students. And I think you'll be happy that you chose TVCC if that's what you do.
Okay. Thank you so much for your time. We appreciate you being here.
Thanks, guys.
Marcus, I actually have one question for you.
Sure.
What's the funnest trip that you guys have gone on in the Natural Resources Club?
I would say that would be our annual whitewater rafting trip.
So CTE dual credit is, it's really a way, kind of the main thing is for students to be able to obtain, college level credits while they're in high school. The way we go about setting up those classes is we work with instructors at the high school level who, maybe want to offer a course or several courses for college dual credit. So we work with the instructors, to make sure that the, that the syllabi line up with the college level syllabi here that we offer at the college. And then once those get approved, then their students can enroll in those CTE dual credit classes that are offered by instructors at their high schools. And it's a really great way, one, for students to earn some actual credits before they start college officially. And it's also a really good opportunity to, get a little bit more experience and knowledge in some of the, different areas that they might want to look at for careers and for degrees as they, move on in their educational journey. And, any instructors on here who, who are interested in offering any CTE dual credit, please get in touch with me and we can talk about getting that set up and facilitated. There's also some opportunities for students, if you're a junior or senior and your GPA is a 3.0 or above, to actually enroll in a couple courses directly at TVCC each term. So you could be actually, taking a couple college level classes each term if that's something you're interested in doing when you're a junior or senior as well.
We have over 9,000 square feet of weld classroom and fabrication area. We teach all of the popular welding processes that the industry is using today. We have over here our oxy-acetylene workstation where we teach gas welding, brazing, and cutting. Over here we have portable plasma machines. Back here we have some newer machines that do stick welding and TIG welding. That's welding where you can use mild steel, stainless steel, or aluminum. Over here we have some state-of-the-art machines. These all have the same capabilities. In addition to that, we also These machines will also do regular MIG welding as well as flux core. In fact, I have a student here with me that just recently graduated and has come back for some additional training. Cisco, hi.
Hi, Cisco. Thanks for joining us. So tell us about your experience in the welding program and why you would recommend it to another student.
My experience was actually a very pivotal moment in my life. Coming out of the Marine Corps, I was trying really hard to find a challenge, and most of the positions that I had didn't really fit that challenge. But finding welding and doing some research, I found that it's definitely challenging, and it was something I wanted to do. And the instructors, helped me guide through it. They looked out for me and made sure that my future wouldn't have come so soon and make me unprepared.
Oh, awesome. So how has this program prepared you for your future?
It has definitely given me the knowledge, the tools, and the skills that I needed to pursue any type of welding that I think that I want to go to.
Awesome. What's something unique about this program that you'd want to tell the other students that are listening right now?
I would definitely say the hometown feeling of the instructors and the curriculum that they have here.
Awesome. Anything else you want to leave them with about TVCC in general?
It's definitely a great place to come. Even the staff here is super friendly, and any So anything that you try want to do, the instructors and the staff will definitely try and help you and guide you through to get to it.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Cisco.
One of the things that we have here is we have a certified welding instructor that can certificate any of the students that want to go in to develop higher skills, and his name is Luke Folke.
Anyway, my name is Luke Folke. I'm a adjunct instructor there at TVCC. I went through the program, graduated in '97, and like Dave said, we conduct welder performance qualification tests to various welding codes, whether it be AWS or ASME Section 9, and it's pretty neat to see the students get to that level, and just watching what I saw there. Cisco, he's been a great student, and he couldn't have worded it better. We've got a hometown feel. We're a working class college turning out students to that are of the working class that are out there landing good jobs. And what's really exciting is it's within they're able to get a good job within 50 miles from here. They don't have to be on the road or travel to the other side of the world or Arctic Circle or wherever to land these good jobs. So we're really producing some local candidates for some of these openings. So it's a really good thing, really exciting times.
And with that, Luke, I would assume there's a lot of high demand right now for this particular trade, isn't there?
Truly, yes, there really is. And now I've been out of the program about 20 years, and what I've seen in the last few years is there's a lot of There's a lot of shops setting up that are needing that quality control. That just because they're in a small town being set up, they still have to meet the requirements of these welding codes. So that drives up the market, that drives up the demand. When I got out of school, you had a lot of guys that were, I don't know if they fit the baby boomer age group or whatever, but they've been retiring. So there's been a big gap. And what was neat is, being able to learn from them, because a lot of tricks to the trade. But then now all of a sudden, it's our generation has to step up to meet that. And it's been good. The school's got, a lot of new technology. We're getting ready to introduce some RMD machines we obtained. That's regulated metal deposition. That's kind of one of the hot topics out there in the workforce they're using for fabricating pipelines and shops. And so we're getting ready to tool up to be able to offer that to the students, and that'll be good. That's something that's really coming on strong. So yeah.
Great. Tell us a little bit about how quick can a student get through TVCC's welding program?
Well, there's kind of, you can hit it from several different approaches. So you can, if you're looking for, an associate degree, Associate of Applied Science, that's typically a 2-year, goal. There's also 1-year certificates, which basically is more the job required classes, the welding, the safety. And then you can also just come in and take custom classes. If you just want to learn a process, you sign up for that. You can pretty well do it however you want. There's also career pathway certificates, which are kind of set up for a particular goal. Maintenance welders, production welders, you know. What's unique though is all these classes build upon themselves. So let's say you came in, took some of them, and you want to come back, get your degree, you know, you've already got those out of the way. There's really no time wasted there. So it's all definitely a value, and it can ultimately build up to get your Associate of Applied Science degree.
We're good. Okay.
That's great.
So hi, Justin. Thanks for being here with us.
Thanks, Julie.
Let's just tell students, what is industrial manufacturing and controls?
That's a good question, because a lot of times we think industrial manufacturing is huge processes where we're manufacturing cars, vehicles, clothing, or food, but it's much more than that. When we break it down, it's electrical, it's mechanical, it's hydraulic, it's pneumatic, fluid power systems, things that are moving and being controlled electronically. But for me, like, I don't know, my journey in industrial manufacturing controls began when I was young. Like, my family owns a sawmill, and I started working in that sawmill like when I was in the first grade. Like, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't say that, but anyway, but like, I was there, I was operating machines, I was working alongside my dad, and as I got older, I started troubleshooting things like electrical motors, bearings, chains, sprockets, and helping make repairs in the sawmill. And then later I went on to Utah State University and got a 4-year degree in agricultural systems, which was a degree much like this, is very hands-on, where you work with hydraulics and taking apart cylinders, taking apart different types of machines that use hydraulics, and looking at valves and everything, and then also engines and electrical systems. So, but all those things that interested me when I was in high school, that inspired me to go to college, I don't know, I found again here at TVCC. So, but that's the gist of what industrial manufacturing is all those components put together to complete a process. So.
Okay. So what are some of the career opportunities that are available after graduation from your program?
Yeah, so not even after the program, but during the program. A lot of my students will get a job while they're in my program, and it's a job that is above 18 bucks an hour. So they're working at places like Swire Coke, Dairy Gold, let's see, Simplot. Those are some of the big ones, but then there's some smaller ones that they've gone to work for, and they've also been able to include welding skills in those jobs that have helped them be a versatile employee and be able to cross over between troubleshooting a hydraulic problem and then being able to go weld up a framework to install a new control system. So
Sounds like they have lots of good opportunities even while in school.
Yep,
Yeah.
definitely.
So what's some advice that you would give a student maybe thinking about entering this field?
Yeah, so advice that I would give you is talk to some of like the people that you may know that work in a manufacturing facility, or even are a mechanic. They work for an ag dealership. Talk to those people and get their take on steps that you should take to develop your skills to be able to troubleshoot electrical, hydraulic, and pneumatic and mechanical type systems. So, but then also too, go to TVCC's website and find industrial manufacturing on the website through the academics page, and contact me. So my email's there, phone number's there, and feel free to give me a call. Even if you have a project maybe that you're working on yourself, give me a call and maybe we can brainstorm about some ideas for you. So.
Okay, so how about we show them what's here behind
Yeah,
us,
so
all this interesting stuff?
I don't know, some unique things about program is everything is of course very hands-on, but every class involves a project. So like you're going to be challenging yourself to create a pneumatic circuit, for instance. I don't want to turn this on. It makes kind of a cool sound. So, but yeah. Right now, my students in my mechanical systems class, we're doing robot wars. Okay, you guys have ever seen that on YouTube before? But we do it in my classroom, so a lot of fun. But programming robots, looking at sensors, something that's kind of cool even outside of the classroom. This is a project I'm working on, but like this is 3D printed, which we also incorporate that into the classroom. But I'm working on 3D printing my own CNC machine. So I'm using a 3D printer to build a CNC machine. So anyway, one CNC machine building another CNC machine. So it's kind of fun, but control systems, these joysticks here, they control the arm that I have set up here. So a lot of fun and just lots of different opportunities and skills that you can learn that are very applicable to doing mechanic work, working in manufacturing, and just if you like being hands-on, plan on continuing to work on the farm. There's lots of advantages to learning the skills and the just the trade of being able to work on these types of systems and use the tools with them. So.
Okay, well, thank you, and thanks for showing us all your cool ideas, what's going on in the IMAC program. So if this looks interesting to you guys, please come visit us and definitely show them around and a little closer. So hi, thanks Travis, and thank you Drew for coming out with us and taking some time to talk to these students.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me.
So tell us what events our men's and women's teams compete at here at TVCC.
So the men's side, the men can compete in the rough stock events, which are made up of the bareback riding, saddle bronc riding, bull riding. They can also compete in the calf roping, steer wrestling, and team roping. The ladies can compete in the breakaway roping, barrel racing, goat tying, and the team roping as well. So we can have a mixed combo in the team roping. You could actually have a lady and a men from your school competing together.
So what were the results of the TVCC rodeo at the college finals?
So I took over in 2016, and prior to me, Treasure Valley Community College has taken teams to the college national finals. And anywhere, them teams can consist of anywhere from 4 to 7 kids, usually. We've had some pretty good seasons lately. We've taken some full men's teams and full women's teams, along with some other contestants as well. We've been averaging probably 7 to 9 kids that make the college finals each year.
Okay, so tell us about the practice schedule, what it might look like for a student here at TVCC.
So our practice schedules kind of vary. So our fall and spring terms, our student athletes can practice anywhere from 4 to 5 nights a week. Winter is kind of different. We have to work around the scheduling for the livestock center. And so we're usually 2 to 3 nights a week during the winter time.
So why should students come to TVCC Rodeo other than some other schools around the area?
So the one nice thing about TVCC and our region, college rodeo is made up of 11 regions, and in them regions, we fall in the Northwest region. So unlike the other regions, we only have to travel to 5 competitions. Them 5 competitions, we do 2 rodeos a weekend, which gives us our 10 rodeos. TVCC also helps cover some of the costs for these student athletes to go up and down the road, which a lot of the other colleges and universities in the area do not cover them and help them students.
So tell us about the team atmosphere and what's it like being actually on the team?
it's kind of like a big family, I guess. Like we've got a lot of our rodeo students that live together off campus in housing units, and it's kind of like a brotherhood, you know, a sisterhood. Everybody kind of mingles together, and you'll see them out and about together as a unit.
Yeah, supporting each
Yeah.
other. Yeah. Okay, so if a student is maybe interested in the rodeo program, what are some of their options? Are there scholarships available, and how do they get in contact with someone?
There are scholarships available, and there's also scholarships available on the TVCC website. There's a Sonny Hansen scholarship. They give out one to incoming male and female rodeo student each year. So there are them opportunities. And if you want more information, feel free to reach out and send me an email. I'm found on the athletics webpage, all my information.
Okay. Thank you, Drew, for joining us here. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yes, we're watching over a patient here, and he is in good hands with these two. So here we have Jill and Kilee from our nursing department. So we'll ask Jill a couple questions here first. So Jill, please tell us a little bit about the nursing program and what the process looks like for students who are entering the program.
For students entering the program, the first thing we're asking is they go online and look at TVCC's website on the nursing. It offers an abundance of information. And the key to it is the prerequisites. There are 48 hours of prerequisites, possibly 40, depending on if you've had some previous classwork. Those need to be completed before you actually can be accepted into the nursing program. But in order to get there, what we ask you to do is look at it. You will see there are about 10 classes. And out of those 10 classes, 2 are absolutely required before you submit an application. We want to make sure you have your math and one of the anatomy and physiology courses. If you have questions, if you're transferring from another school, we're so happy you're looking at TVCC. You may want to talk to Student Services Advising and send in your transcripts from different schools. We do all this. We have approximately 70 to 78 students apply. We take in 16. We do hope to increase that. Sorry, my mask is slipping off. You know how they are. And we look at each one individually. We have a point system in which we look at how many classes have you completed, what's your grade point. But most of all, we want you to have success. Nursing is such a joy, and the students here do so well. We've got 100% placement for jobs when they graduate. 95 and above have passed boards. So we've got a great record, and we want you to be part of it.
Awesome. Thank you, Jill. So a little question here. So what was your favorite part about being a nurse, and how has it translated into your teaching?
Boy, being a nurse has just been serving others, caring. It offers so many opportunities too. If you're thinking of nursing, it doesn't mean you necessarily have to be in a hospital or a clinic. You can work in insurance, you can work in a doctor's office, you can work as a health nurse in a business. I mean, the opportunities are wide open on that. And I think that that's something that we can offer. As for teaching, watching the light bulbs go off as the student progresses. And it just gets better and better as they go on, and they see how successful they can be and what they learn and how they can transfer that learning to caring for others.
Oh, thank you, Jill. Okay, so we have a couple questions for Kilee here. So Kilee, what's your favorite part about being a medical assistant instructor?
So my favorite part about being an instructor here at TVCC is allowing students the opportunity to really practice their hands-on skills and watch them get into that healthcare role that a lot of them have been working towards for a long time. So I think really my favorite part is working with the students.
Awesome. So what are some of the industry partners that you work with here in the program?
Yes, so we work with, much like you saw in the video, St. Luke's, St. Al's, and Valley Family really regular.
Those are some of the big industry partners that help our students get their clinical experience in. So you're getting that time in the clinics, working with a medical assistant who's doing the job, and you're getting that hands-on experience, not only in the classroom, but also outside of the classroom.
So what sets TVCC apart from other nursing programs or MA programs?
For medical assisting, TVCC has 2 different options, which some other colleges don't have. We offer a 1-year certificate, and we offer a associate's degree in medical assisting, which can result in higher wages.
Okay. Anything you want to leave the students with if they're interested, how they can find information or something like that?
Much like Jill said, it's just really great to check out the TVCC website. It has a lot of information as well as contact info for who you can ask questions to, or common questions that are asked about either program.
So Jill, we have a lively fellow here in the bed. What would our students be doing with a dummy like this? Even Kilee too.
Well, what would they be doing? Well, they talk to it as if it's a person. They practice their communication skills, not just technical skills. You know, they may use it to change a dressing, give mouth to mouth if they're doing CPR. All different things are done, and different mannequins are used for different things. You know, we have one that shows the birth of a baby. Right now we have a group, if you want to peek in there, that is actually doing some practice skills lab.
Perfect.
And it's dressing change.
Yeah, lead the way. We're happy to follow.
We haven't started yet.
Have them pretend, would they?
You want us to agree, then I can bring the back stuff.
Perfect. So students can see here, we are operating simulations. We have an individual here in the bed. We have a nurse who's working off to the side. They're getting ready. They're getting prepped. You can see we also have our simulation dummy here, SimMan. He's our most realistic mannequin that we have here at TVCC for nursing. He breathes, he, you know, has all sorts of fluids that come out, all that good, gross and exciting stuff. So you can see here, this is the control and observation room. On the other side, we also have, it's like in the movies, it's glass where you can't see through the other side. So they are working totally blind on what their instructors might be observing. So, all right. Thank you, Jill, for letting us see that. And here we will turn it back to Travis.
Thank you so much for visiting us.
Yes, hi everybody. I'm Suzanne Bolyard, education faculty here at TVCC, and just want to share with you a little bit about our education programs. So an important thing to know is that we offer a early childhood associate of science, applied science degree. We call that a terminal degree because it doesn't transfer onto a bachelor's degree. So if you did want to go and get a bachelor's, you would have to come back and get your 60 credits of gen eds. You can also get an AAOT, which does transfer in early childhood, as well as elementary ed. So both of those options are available. If you want to be an early childhood educator, we have a career pathway, a 1-year certificate, and the 2-year AAS degree. You would work in an infant, toddler, or preschool setting like OCDC, Head Start, Giggles and Grace, something like that. All of our courses do meet the educational requirements for the National Child Development Associate and the Oregon Registry. If you're thinking maybe you'd like to go into the K-12 system and be an elementary teacher, you can do our AAOT in elementary ed. And also, if you want to pursue secondary ed for high school, we can help you with that as well. So the CDA career pathway is 15 credits. It includes courses on early intervention of children. It is designed for directly entering the workforce as a child care worker. It meets the educational requirements for that child development associate, as well as placing you on the Oregon Registry at step 7. All of these credits will count towards the 1-year certificate and the AAS. So our 1-year certificate is 50 credits. You can finish it in 1 year. Includes courses in child development, guidance, curriculum, neglect, special needs, leadership. All of these credits will count towards your AAS degree if you could decide to continue on. And it is designed also for entering the workforce as a childcare worker or preschool teacher. If you finish these education requirements, you will meet the CDA national requirements as well as place you on the Oregon Registry Step 8. So the Associates of Applied Science is 90 credits. You can finish that in 2 years. Similar courses in more depth. If you're going to enter the workforce, you would enter as a preschool teacher, a child care program director, a para-educator in the public schools. And this would place you on the Oregon Registry Step 9. For elementary ed, we have articulation agreements with Eastern Oregon University and Boise State University, as well as all of our Oregon universities these would work for. You would meet the general ed requirements to transfer to a university as a junior. We have course offerings in elementary ed. You would definitely want to check with Oregon and Idaho teacher certification agencies for specific information on earning a teaching license, which we can assist you with, as well as the university you want to transfer to and what particular courses they require. For secondary ed, you can do the same thing, get an AAOT. Typically, you would get a bachelor's degree in your subject area that you want to teach, and then you would seek teacher certification. So most universities have programs to assist you with this as well. And you would want to check with your teacher ed programs at the university where you want to transfer. So why choose ECE and any elementary ed program here or education course at TVCC? We have small class sizes. Our faculty are interested in working with students as individuals. We already have articulation and agreements with EOU and BSU. You can participate with Club Ed, which is involved in service projects, internships, participation in national organizations, get to know other students and have lots of fun. We do job placement and career tracking and will help you reach your professional goals. So typically going into an early childhood position, now in Oregon, we have something called Preschool Promise, and many of the salaries are about $45,000 to $52,000, including benefits. You can work with OCDC, Head Start, all have higher educational requirements now, and their pay scale has gone up quite a bit. And I know with a lot of there's a high demand for teachers in our area. Lots of our students that are currently in elementary ed programs are already being hired while they finish school. So there is a great demand for both early childhood and elementary ed right now. So a teacher affects eternity. He can never tell where his influence stops. I encourage you to look into teaching and consider that as an option. Thank you.
Our addiction studies program is one of our AAS degrees, which are designed to be completed within 2 years. And when students graduate, they're ready to enter the workforce employed as a human service paraprofessional with a specialty in the area of chemical dependency. So employment opportunities include entry-level positions that we refer to in the industry as human service specialists. And these can, the settings can vary. So healthcare facilities, prisons, educational institutions, there are lots of places for entry-level workers to begin this work. In order to obtain, there are 2 different certifications because we have both Oregon and Idaho students. So in order to obtain an Oregon Certified Alcohol and Drug Counselor CADC 1, or the Idaho Student Addiction Studies ISAS certificate, students have to do a number of things. They have to be able to pass a background check, and then they have some specific coursework and a supervised practicum, which is basically an on-the-job training requirement that we refer to at TVCC as cooperative work experience. And this gives students the practical experience within the field while they're also earning their college credit. And some agencies may even pay students for their practicum hours. So one of the important things to keep in mind is that this degree is designed specifically for students that are wishing to directly enter the workforce. In Oregon, there are 1,000 hours of practicum experience that's necessary for certification as a drug and alcohol counselor for the state. That certification process is managed by Mental Health and Addiction Counselor Certification Board of Oregon, which is lots of acronyms, MHACBO. They review all of the educational background and clinical experience, and they actually facilitate the testing for certification. In Idaho, the Idaho Student of Addiction Studies, ISAS, requires a little bit different process to get started. So they have a core section of coursework that needs to be completed that includes diagnostic, impression, and screening, referral, monitoring of treatment plans and compliance, and service coordination, management, and some other coursework. And they also require 300 hours of practicum experience. So TVCC's 2-year plan is designed to get students to the point where they can begin that clinical process while they're finishing their schooling, and get them employed into entry-level positions. But additionally, while this degree is designed for students wishing to directly enter the workforce, there are a number of students who kind of want to do both. They want to start work in the field and start on those practicum hours, and then achieve higher levels of certification. And with that, there's always more education required. So we ask that students that are interested in this program meet with advisors and map out a long-term plan. So if a student wishes to transfer coursework, then we strongly encourage them to work with a TVCC advisor to map out the courses that are necessary to obtain that workforce ready degree. But then also, if they wish to continue their education, then we look at transfer schools for the 4-year degree, and we work closely with the students to make sure that they take the coursework that is going to help them obtain that bachelor's level degree and higher level certifications at either state, depending on the requirements.
Yeah, good morning, Travis. Thank you for letting me be here. It's a privilege. I'm a graduate of 1990 from the criminal justice program. And in that program gave me a lot of opportunities to kind of grow and get out of my shell a little bit and have really good mentors during that time. So I took advantage of the work study opportunities as well, and it really helped me a lot. So I really want to talk today about Snake River Correctional Institution and Oregon Department of Corrections. I think there's a myth that, prisons, we just kind of lock people up and they kind of disappear. Nobody really sees what happens. So I want to talk a little bit about what we're doing as an agency, some of the things that we've learned from the Norway system and through the University of California. We have great partners. We've learned a lot as far as basically creating a normalized environment and humanization. Those two things we're working on quite a bit. If you were to take a tour of our facility right now, you would see kind of, I've heard it described as kind of a campus environment, very clean, very orderly, pretty quiet. There's a reason for that. 95% of these guys, the AICs, the adults in custody, are going to get out of here and they're going to be your neighbors. So we take that very seriously, and we're not in the concept of locking people down. We want to normalize the environment, get these guys to the point where they want to learn, they want to hit that reset button and be better people. So I'm really, really proud of our staff. We have checks and balances called correctional outcomes through research and engagement, where we actually evaluate our practices, our best practices, and improve on those over a period of time. So in these pictures that you're seeing on the upper left, that was pre-COVID. This is AIC Kermit Anderson. Kermit Anderson has been incarcerated both in the California system and the Oregon system for about 30 years. Kermit went through kind of a rough patch. He got in some trouble, stabbed a couple of inmates, got locked down for a long period of time, and then he was transferred to Oregon. So we have it's called a transition resource team we have here at Snake River, and that's the upper right corner there, and that's Captain David Jantz and his team. So Kermit was locked down for a long period of time. We took the time and the resources to get him out of long-term isolation, take him out to the yard, and the little things, just like feeling a blade of grass. He has been locked down for a long period of time. So we have to take the time, get him accustomed to living in general population. And that in itself opens up doors for him to learn and be successful in a normalized environment. So the picture below, really this was taken, this quote was taken from Norway, "Be proud but not satisfied." We continue to evolve as an agency here. And like I said, it's not about locking people down, it's about giving them skills and giving them an opportunity to change.
The Malheur County Sheriff's Office, we're not near as big as Snake River Correctional Institution as far as employing people, but we do have 63 team members here, and we have a variety of employment opportunities. Of course, we have a patrol, and within patrol, you can work out on the streets, you know, in a patrol car, or you may be on the lakes in a boat. You may be an investigator, investigating crimes and doing follow-up. We have a dispatch center that dispatches for law enforcement and public safety throughout Malheur County, always looking for dispatchers. We have a jail that houses 104 people. And so we're looking for corrections deputies as well. And then to round it out, we have employment opportunities in the parole and probation area. So lots of opportunities for folks. You'll never get rich working for us in Malheur County, but you can make a very comfortable living and with excellent benefits. And so we have a saying around here that nobody works for the sheriff or for any of the supervisors here. You work with the sheriff and with the supervisors. We try to build a team atmosphere, if you will, because it takes everybody to make the machine run. And so that's the philosophy that we have here at the Sheriff's Office. And just in closing, all of our positions, by state law, you have to be 21 years of age. So when I have high school seniors come to talk to me about getting into this business, I tell them, you know, you just as well go to school, make yourself more marketable, because you can't get into the business until you're at least 21. And so TVCC, through their criminal justice program, is a perfect place to go.
Sure can. So here at TVCC in the last year, we revamped our normal computer science program to be part of cybersecurity now. And with cybersecurity, we include, you know, the skill set that you need for working with Microsoft, working with Cisco, working with Palo Alto, which is some of the big names in technology. Cybersecurity is a big term in the industry right now, as you may have heard on the news and see in the papers. That it involves, protecting all kinds of things, all kinds of data, in every field out there possible. The job market is really, short. So there is a ton of jobs out there, meaning there is not enough people. So I did the stats this morning. Last year when we did this, there was about 300,000 unfilled jobs, and as of today, there's about 520 unfilled jobs. So if you're looking for a job, cybersecurity is a good field to go into because it's got a 0 unemployment rate. At TVCC, we're giving you the entry-level skills to land your first job. Where you might work is pretty much in every industry. So in the last year, I've seen cybersecurity professionals work at insurance companies, work at sheriff offices, working at grocery stores, working at banks, credit unions. And now what I'm starting to see a big trend in is companies are outsourcing their cybersecurity needs to organizations that they call Security Operations Center. Palo Alto is one of our academies, and we just recently partnered with them that they have started an internship program for all the people in the program, and they are hiring our students for summer internships, that are about 12 weeks long in the summer. They are allowing students to work from home, and they're paying at the rates of what you would get in Silicon Valley. So cybersecurity is a big market. We would be super excited to have you in our program, and we see it keep growing each year, as the demand is increasing worldwide.
That's great, Scott. In regards to, you talked about different companies and, opportunities that it's really with the growing technology that we have, it's really, the sky's the limit in regards to if you have this experience, you could be working almost for any organization or company.
Pretty much, because there isn't any organization out there nowadays that isn't doing something on the internet. So whether you're selling widgets, right, or you're working with documents, the world has changed, and a lot of things are not going to go back. And so even in the justice system, in the courtrooms, that's virtual technology now. And as we start doing things like these kinds of conferences that are using Zoom and stuff, there is data that is exchanged with important documents, and with that, there is the need for cybersecurity professionals to make sure that that data is transmitted securely, that is stored in a safe place, and pretty much the sky's the limit.
That's awesome. In regards to the program itself, right? You don't have to be a cybersecurity major to take any of those courses. Is that correct?
That's correct. We get a lot of students in here who know absolutely nothing about technology. Because we're a 2-year school, we start off at the basics on here, and we walk you through introduction to the terms, and to the technology world. And then we move you into some classes that teach you a skill of actually how to configure the firewalls, how to build networks. All of those skill sets are great knowledge. So even if you might be a person that might be a salesperson, you might be selling this technology. You might be a person that's working in the back room. You might be a person that's on the front lines on there. Pretty much everything we offer here at TVCC gives you some kind of knowledge, right, to break into this field, no matter what type of position you might be going after.
That's great. And Scott, is there anything that you'd like to say to any students that are looking into potentially going into this particular field, and tell them to advice basically for looking into programs and opportunities after high school?
Yeah, everything is relatively new. So if you're an individual that likes change, this is definitely a field for you, because it is moving at a very fast rate. Lots of fun things that are happening. And another piece I forgot to tell you about was like the automobile industry is another one that is really huge right now with cybersecurity. thinking about all of the electronic cars that are coming out. Well, those are basically a big app on wheels. But if you like a fast-paced, changing industry, cybersecurity is it. And if you like money, it is definitely a well-paying field on there. So we would certainly look forward to having you in our program.
And first off, the main thing I would say, relative to our business department is that we have fantastic faculty in there who have a lot of, real world professional experience, in the business realm that they bring to these classes. But we actually offer 6 different degrees or certificates in business related fields. And that does include transfer degrees if your plan is to transfer out to a, bachelor's in a business related field after your first couple of years. And then, we also offer degrees, in things like business management, having an accounting emphasis in there, as well as some business office administration, types of degree paths as well. So again, depending what, kind of your general interest in the business realm is, there's a lot of good opportunities there and a lot of opportunities to receive, real, kind of workplace focused, training and education as well.
That's great. I think one thing that I like about business, and I get the opportunity to teach some business courses every once in a while at TVCC, is that it's not just specific to business majors. A lot of our CTE major students take just business classes, an accounting class, a marketing class, a teamwork dynamics class that's, very applicable and very transparent across many industries. And business is really kind of a universal degree. So if you're always looking for classes to take, business courses or a business degree to pursue is always a great option.
So aviation is something that when I was a kid, there wasn't anything available that I knew of. I didn't hear of it. And what we find out is that students don't know that this is a career opportunity. And it's really funny because you think, how do pilots get trained? How do we have pilots for airplanes and for helicopters and things? I guess we just, as a general public, don't necessarily think about that as a school option. Well, TVCC has some excellent programs. We have a helicopter program. We fly a Robinson R-22 and R-24 or 44 helicopters, and those are 2-seaters and 4-seaters, if you're not familiar with those. We also have an airplane training program in Ontario. The helicopter is in Caldwell, and I'm going to let each of those instructors talk specifically about those. But if this is a career that you never thought about, or if it's a career that maybe you thought it wasn't optional for you or wasn't an option for you, think again about it. Check in with us. Come and talk to us about aviation. It is doable. It's realistic. It's a fun and exciting career. And there's actually some pretty good money to be made in that. If you're the type who lives on a little more adrenaline, if you like that kind of, excitement and adventure, maybe this is the career for you. So I would just encourage you to think about that as a career. One of the things that I hear a lot from potential students is, well, I'm really afraid of heights, so I don't know if that's a good idea. I don't think I could do it. The experience has been, from what I've seen, that isn't even a factor. Once you get into the aircraft and you figure out what you're doing, that becomes less of an issue. So at this point, what I'd like to do is have Tucker talk to you a little bit about the helicopter program, and then we can switch over to Bree, and she can give you a little bit more information about airplanes and what kind of careers are out there, what we do in the program, and that kind of thing.
Like I say, my name's Tucker Tolliver. I'm the lead helicopter flight instructor over in Caldwell. So my job is more or less to make sure that all the students that come through us have the best quality of training possible to uphold the name that we've built here. And we've built some pretty good partners over the years. So we're out of Caldwell. Our main partner is Silverhawk Aviation. So with them and the partners and kind of the name we've built, we have students all over the entire world at this point. I have classmates and friends as well in Alaska, people over in Dubai running crane operations and helicopters. which is probably one of my favorite things of why I got into this industry, is the opportunities you have to do absolutely anything. When you become a helicopter pilot, you're not just a helicopter pilot. You can become a firefighter. You can get into law enforcement. You can go build buildings on the other side of the world. You can support military operations. The opportunities are really endless. I'm still learning about them on a day-to-day basis. One of my favorite things about this program is more or less how friendly it is, and it's more like a family. It's not just showing up to a class every single day at a certain time and seeing the same people sitting next to you. It's becoming friends with those people, creating your groups, getting into the study habits. We very often have, well, not so much anymore with the COVID-19 stuff, but we try to get group functions going bowling. We got ski nights. We try to build that networking mentality in our students on a very early stage, and it really helps them out in their career. Makes the success rate much higher. From my experience and traveling around the industry, we probably have one of the higher success rates in any program that I know of, at least west of the Mississippi. A big factor of that is we hire exclusively within our own program. So if you go through our degree program, you will have the opportunity to get hired on and be an instructor. Yep, so we do offer what we call a discovery flight. So like Julie said, there's a lot of people that think they're scared of heights, and they're not really sure what it's like to get into. What we do is we take them up, and on the first day, you walk into our office, we'll set you up, we'll give you a little class on how a helicopter operates, what the different controls are. We'll take you up, and you will be on your you will be in flying the helicopter before you even start class. So you will know whether or not this is truly for you.
So like Tucker said, we partner with Silverhawk Aviation Academy. They lease us the aircraft that we use out here in Ontario. And then for furthering your career, we also partner with SkyWest Airlines. So once you get the amount of hours that you need through the program and instructing, then we help you get an interview with SkyWest Airlines if you're interested in that. So like Tucker said, you have lots of different options when you go into flying aircraft. For a fixed wing, you can get into like aeromedical, you can get into firefighting as well. You can get into like charter or corporate flights, you can get into airlines, military, you name it, we can help you get there. So if you have any interest, I highly recommend a discovery flight, see what you think about it. My discovery flight is what was the hook, line, and sinker for me, and now here I am. So it's one of the more exciting things I've ever done in my entire life, and I'm super happy to have a career in it now. So.
And Bree, one of the things, so I came and got to shoot some footage with the fixed wing program and interview you as well and a couple of students, but you know, it's not like students have to sit in the classroom for a year or two before they actually get up in the air. Tell me how quick can a student start flying through this program?
Correct, like Tucker said, so you'll have classes that start, you know, a certain week of the month, twice a year. And if say your class was on like the Tuesday of that week, you could also be in the air Tuesday of that week. So the very first day you're in class, the very first week you're in class, you can also be in the airplane. So we don't make you wait. You get to go see what it's all about right away.
Most definitely. And we have some avenues for doing financial aid. We have a lot of students that start out in the military and then use veterans education benefits once they get out of the military. If that's not an option or an interest, we also have student financial aid for those who want to come right out of high school and go into this program. So one of the things in the aviation industry is if you are going to be an airline pilot, you must be at least 21 years of age. So by the time you come out of high school and you get into this program and it's just under a year or a 2-year program, then you're going to work for about a year. You're going to be just about the right age to have a fabulous career, 20 years, 25 years, maybe even longer if you want to.
I know virtual meetings are sometimes kind of difficult, but we really do appreciate you taking the time to learn a little bit more about TVCC's programs. We have the best faculty in the entire Treasure Valley, and I get so excited watching them talk about their programs. You know, their enthusiasm just comes right through, and I think, and I'm sure that you all have seen that as well. So when you know that when we have faculty who are as enthusiastic as ours are, you are going to have a great time in their programs, and you're going to learn a lot. So we really hope that you give TVCC a shot and you know, check us out and come take a look at some of our facilities and come talk to some of our faculty, because you're going to be amazed at what we have going on here in the Western side of the Treasure Valley. So again, thank you for attending, and we hope that we will see all of you very soon.